I just read about Uma Thurman's sexual assault. I'm ready to go.
Not talking about that. Don't come in here with your own agenda. I got a full agenda. We're waiting until 2 o'clock, and then we're going to call Mr. Corben. As scheduled. Okay?
We'll see.
Or is it your goal to sidetrack the interview and make it all about yourself and what you want to talk about?
We'll see. We'll see.
And now, we about to blow the roof off of this bitch. It's time for the Wiener Shake Show. Wiener Shakers, Wiener Shakers.
Bonsoir, 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 bonsoir.
I want you to be dumber when we're recording.
Oh, that's damn good, baby.
To get involved, call or text 302-729-3664. Now, Greg Wiener and Imran Sheikh.
Why did you text me you were nervous about it?
I didn't text you I was nervous about anything.
You sure
I
did?
never get nervous.
Okay. You want me to read back the text to you?
You can read back whatever fiction you wrote.
I didn't write it. This is you, okay?
It's not me. I didn't write anything. I don't get nervous, dog. I want my listeners to know that I never fucking get nervous. Because I've got a steel beam in my pants. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, a little nervous about this interview. Want it to be good. Nervous about me, not the idea. I mean, like I'm nervous. I think it's great we have him on.
The Writers' Cup contacted me to use my erect wiener as a mast for their fastest sailing ship. So guys like me don't get nervous.
You're nervous right now.
I'm not nervous. Who says I'm fucking nervous? You know who gets nervous? Girls. I'm not nervous.
You should be. Everything's riding on this.
Listen. You listen to me.
Are you ready? I'm gonna call Mr. Corben now. Billy.
Oh boy.
You ready?
Oh boy. Maybe I should jerk off real quick. What do you think?
No.
What if I jerk off on air?
No. Well, then that's kind of a form of rape. Nobody wants to experience your fucking sexual...
Whoa. Let's not throw around the R word.
Do me a favor. Don't blow farts. Don't talk over me. And fucking be on your best behavior. Throw in funny comments and be a professional. We're calling him.
Hold on.
No,
Can I do my intro?
No.
Can I do my intro?
No, you don't do intros.
I gotta do my intro.
I do intros.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
Hilarious.
Big man.
Yeah, we got
big
fucking,
man.
That was fun. It says he's active. Maybe he's Mr. Exact. He's waiting until 2.
Don't be one of those dudes. You're one of those dudes who, like, if you don't call you back, you start hunting them down on social media. Be like, but you're active. Why aren't you calling me back?
That's on Skype, dude. No one understands what you're talking about right now.
Stop. Mine?
Dude, can you please do me a favor? Stop with the farts. It takes time for me to edit. I don't have time.
No one's asking you to edit the fart.
No one wants to hear your dumb, childish farts.
First off...
Can we just have a real quick bit of peace? Can we?
A détente.
Please. Unified
a détente
in our love for talk radio, comedy, and... breakneck journalism, deep cutting, truthful, cutting edge.
Oh. Whew, that one had a tailwind on it.
Only one laughing. You are the only one laughing. Good. You sound like a fucking idiot. All right, should I call him again?
I don't know. Is he gonna decline your call again, or?
Doors, please. Great.
Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Corben.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Hello.
Hello.
That is my South Asian co-host, Imran Sheikh. Imran? Billy.
Hello, Billy.
Ni hao.
Ni hao.
Ni hao.
What is that?
Is hello in Chinese.
That's Vietnamese, Greg.
Oh.
That's Chinese. It's Mandarin.
Close.
Do you remember when the term South Asian first started becoming part of our vernacular, Billy?
Nope. I sure don't.
It just kind of happened, right?
Did it?
It did. Yes.
Yeah.
It did. It did. The first time I heard it was doing Disgrace. Joe Adler was talking about casting a South Asian, and I'm like, what the hell's a South Asian? I have no idea what a South Asian is. And he said, well, it's, someone who's South Asian. And I had to look it up. Yeah. But it's Imran is South Asian.
No, it couldn't have been someone from the south of Asia. I mean, that wouldn't make any sense, right?
No, but you're Pakistani, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Pakistan is in the south of Asia. Son of a bitch.
Right. We know that.
I like to think that every point of entry for a story like this is Joe Adler.
Absolutely.
Who's Joe Adler?
He is a director here in Miami.
Theater director.
Theater director.
Who cares? Who cares?
Billy.
Theater's dead.
Thanks.
I agree.
Who cares?
Did a play, and I agree.
You did write a play, man.
Who cares?
I did. Never again.
Was it a bad experience?
No, I feel like working in the theater the same way I feel about 9/11 and the Holocaust. Never again.
Oh.
Hashtag never again.
Not the same amount of poon as 9/11 and the Holocaust, though.
It was not a very creatively fulfilling experience.
I've had some great theater experiences, but my overall thing is you bust your ass, and the payoff is very little and very rare that it's a positive, incredible experience.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. We deliver a hard drive to Netflix, and they flip a switch, and our content is available in 60 countries.
Right.
Okay? You sit around and you write and you rehearse and you design, and you're away from your family and you're working and you're reworking, you're writing and you're rewriting.
You get poon.
And I did the math, and if we sold out every single performance of our 5-week run, which of course you're not, that's not how this works. So,
right.
But if we were to have sold out every single performance of, was it 4 shows a week for a 5-week run, 8,000 people would have seen it.
Right.
So you tell me where
there's no comparison.
Yeah, you want to do a cost-benefit analysis or the ROI there. Like, at least it's like people will see it, when you put that, on Netflix.
Totally.
Yeah, but you can't chase tail via Netflix.
How's that?
The only tale you can get in theater is that of the ancient tale.
Yeah,
I've gotten some young tail in theater.
Imran, are you eating, or is that you, Billy? Is someone fiddling with paper, or?
Yeah, I heard that, but no, the only tale I've ever seen in theater is in Cats.
Well played.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Welcome to episode 49 of the Wiener Sheikh Show. We're one away from 50.
That's season 2, episode 9 for my listeners.
Imran's
Billy.
running joke. We're in our second season.
Don't call my listeners a joke.
Mazel tov.
Stop eating on the goddamn podcast, Imran.
My blood sugar was low. What do you want me to do? You want me hyped for this show, or you want me like a dead horse?
We have episode 50 coming up. I'm actually, we are going to be in the same room for the first time, Imran and Astoria, and we'll be able to stroke each other's ugly dicks live in the same room with our fucking producers from Hollow Spirit Studios, Man in the Ship.
Hollyoak Hollywood Studios.
That's right. On today's show, we have our first actual legitimate guest. We did have Duckman on, but I know in your eyes, Imran, he's a slug of a human.
He's not a human. Not a human being. He is just a slug.
Well, we did also have Polly McPherson on, and actually Tom Hanks and her best friend.
Polly McPherson's married, so she doesn't really count.
This is true. So this is our first critically acclaimed and award-winning filmmaker on the Wiener Sheikh Show.
Woo! Ow!
Billy Corben. Welcome to the Wiener Sheikh Show, Billy.
What a get.
Whatever. If you're eating, I'm going to eat. Fuck it.
Imran has no rules. He does what he wants on the show. And someone said it sounds like Greg is babysitting Imran when they do the show together. So eat away if you must. But Billy Corben is an incredible filmmaker. I'm a huge fan. Cocaine Cowboys. He's got 3 films in the 30 for 30 series for ESPN. Imran, zip it. It's the U Part 2, Broke. And then, Billy, your first film, Raw Deal, A Question of Consent, I just saw last week. I didn't even know it existed. It was fucking amazing, man.
Thank you.
Jesus.
I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of people don't know it exists, so I appreciate You finding it, discovering it.
Can we cut through the smoke here for a second, Billy? I have a burning question.
Let's have a doctor look at that.
Here's the question.
Good, Imran. Way to cut to it.
On your Wikipedia, because I did some research
Question about my Wikipedia.
Yeah. High-end podcasting, Imran. Go ahead, get it done.
Now this is what I call investigative reporting.
Yeah.
I was doing some show research, and it says here that you were a child actor, and you did one show called Dear John. Now, I checked on your IMDb page, and it said Dear John is not listed. Now, my question to you:
Really?
what's the truth? Can we get the truth from you, Billy, today here on the Wiener Shake Show for the first time?
Do you believe Wikipedia or do you believe IMDb?
I feel like Bill Barr right now, being cross-examined by the Senate Judiciary Committee.
The gentleman will answer the question. Was the Honorable Billy Corben on or not on Dear John? Thank you.
Reclaiming my time, I played Judd Hirsch's son in, I believe, the third season. Matthew, I think you're right, was the character name. On the third or fourth season.
I know I'm right.
It was the role was originally played by Ben Savage.
Oh shit! From Wonder Years.
No. This is the brother of Fred Savage.
You idiot. Yeah, he's the brother of Fred Savage.
I was thinking of the brother for Fred Savage on Wonder
Sorry,
Years.
Billy.
Okay,
keep going.
And I think no, that's all right. I think Ben landed the role on Boy Meets World, which was a huge hit, and so he was unavailable to continue playing the part of Matthew on Dear John, and so they had to recast the role. And yes, I played Judd Hirsch's son on the I don't want to say short-lived because I think it ran about 4 years. NBC sitcom
4 seasons.
Dear John,
1988 to 1992.
Damn.
Billy, question: do you remember the theme song
from Dear John? Yeah, it was based. It was an adaptation.
Okay, thank you. Can you tell us a little something about Mr. Judd Hirsch?
Can I tell you something about him? Yes, I can. For Christmas, after I think my first season on the show, I got a gift from the Dear John producers. It was like a bag that said Dear John on it that I used as my carry-on bag for a lot of years, like a gym bag. And inside the bag was Judd Hirsch's taxi jacket. No, his taxi jacket. Because he said it didn't fit him. He said he didn't fit him anymore, and so he gave me his taxi jacket, which I believe is in my closet to this day.
See,
holy shit! It should be in the Smithsonian.
See, I was going to make a joke about how Judd Hirsch is a Jew, as we all know.
Tell us about your Jew joke.
And
but
how
you missed the timing.
This is clearly a fallacy because. If Judd Hirsch is Jewish, the show wouldn't have had a Christmas gift. But the coolness of Judd Hirsch giving you his taxi jacket, that's impressive.
Let me finish, Senator.
Imran.
If you'll let me finish.
Please, let the man finish, Imran.
Taxi jacket had a pocket, and inside the pocket was Judd Hirsch's foreskin.
Was it in like a little like a baseball card preserver sleeve?
It's probably in a Werther's original wrapper or something.
It was in a Tic Tac box.
Nice.
Appropriate.
Nice.
Dude, what was it like working with I'm not done, Greg. The public needs to know. Billy, what was it like working? Now, Judd Hirsch, good man, would you say?
We had a great time, and he enjoyed.
No one give a shit about Judd Hirsch.
He enjoyed flirting with my mother.
Did he really?
Back up. Billy, are you Judd Hirsch's illegitimate son?
I'm not. That I'm aware. I mean, although there's never been a paternity test. If this were the Maury Povich show, we would know for sure.
Yeah, it's
We're
definitely
getting there.
not that. We don't have that kind of budget.
Season three, big plans.
The computer, the equipment that is running this ship hasn't been paid for yet. So that's not a joke.
So anyway, Billy,
I know he's laughing because it's not a joke. You clearly hit a nerve there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Imran, are you done with your pointless questions about Judd Hirsch?
Let me see here. Hang on. Let me just get my... I'm done with my questioning about Judd Hirsch. Thank you.
I love Judd Hirsch, man. Taxi, for Christ's sakes. Dude, is Screwball
Actually, Judd Hirsch was in Taxi.
What did I say?
Huh? I don't know what you said.
Pretty sure I said Taxi, Imran. Can you tell we've done 48 shows together, Billy?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Billy, I'm just seeing this right now, and my mind is being blown a little bit. You were in the Archie television film?
There was a TV movie. It was a backdoor pilot for a series where the Archie characters grew up and attended, I think, their like 10 or 15-year high school reunion at Riverdale High, and I played Jughead's son.
First off, I bet it was backdoor, huh? Second off,
you know these child actor stories.
I was going to ask about that. Did you ever see any kind of seediness on the set?
I sure did.
Like anybody try and diddle you at all? God forbid.
I sure didn't. My mom was always around and quite vigilant, and I never was exposed to that, so to speak, to that side of it. I also never worked with Charlie Sheen, so there's that.
Or Harvey Weinstein.
Were you ever diddled by anyone as a child actor?
God, Imran, that's an inappropriate question.
I'm sorry. I rescind that question.
No, that's fine. Let's talk about diddling.
Diddle talk.
See,
Let's not.
This seems to be a reasonable line of questioning. I did, however, work with Corey Feldman.
Did you?
You worked with Corey Feldman?
I did. I worked on a movie with Alan Thicke and Corey Feldman, Amy Dolenz, Edie McClurg. It was a pretty good cast. And
Shanghai 1920.
No, that was not it. This was called Step Monster. We were hanging out in the dressing room, and my mom said, let's get a picture with Corey and Billy. And so just before we took the picture, Corey put his arm around me, and he said,
do a bump of coke.
This is like 93, 94. And Corey says, Billy reminds me so much of me when I was his age. And my mother goes, oh my God, I hope not. And snaps the picture at that moment. It's kind of wonderful.
Did Corey hear that?
Oh, hell yeah. He laughed. He thought it was hilarious. Yeah.
Did you ever do cocaine with Corey Feldman?
I've never done cocaine at all, unfortunately.
How did you end up not doing coke and you grew up in Miami? You made a goddamn documentary called Cocaine Cowboys.
La cocaína.
And you avoided doing hard drugs. How was that possible?
I avoided doing soft drugs, too. I didn't smoke marijuana up until a few years ago. I tried it in Denver on 420. Yeah, I somehow managed to grow up. You know, I'm a native Floridian, a lifelong Miamian, went through the Dade County public school system, went to New World School of the Arts, high school, then went to University of Miami, and I'll never forget, I was kind of notorious in school. I was the only kid. I didn't start drinking until I was 21, so I was the kid in school who didn't drink, who didn't smoke, and
oh boy, Billy.
I know, and so I was the class president, because that's what happens when you don't drink or smoke. They make you
do your job as a student.
They make you the class president, unfortunately. And so anyway, I remember we were doing Cocaine Cowboys, and a buddy of mine from school calls me up and goes, "What the fuck do you know about drugs? You keep making." You know, then we made like Godfathers of Ganja, Square Grouper, and why are you making these? And then we made Limelight, which was basically an ecstasy movie, and
about the New York club scene, right?
Exactly. And so what the hell do you know about any of this? And so we just kind of, I guess when you're making documentaries in and around and about Miami, they're going to be about drugs or football or both, you know, or something.
Well, it also makes sense. I mean, you have the outsider's perspective, right? You have the, so to speak, sober eye on it, and you can it's like you can see the forest for the trees.
Whereas I know a lot of people who would have smoked the forest when I was there. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, the guy is. You did a triple major at the U, for Christ's sakes. You weren't doing drugs.
What was your triple major?
He majored. Tell us, Billy.
It was political science, screenwriting, and theater.
Jeez.
Theater. What was the point of that degree?
It was total bullshit. At New World School of the Arts, we were dual enrolled in Miami-Dade Community College. It was a community college at the time, and right. I think UF or whoever they partnered with in New World.
UF.
Exactly. So we got college credits, and so
there it is.
Yeah, UM was willing to transfer like all of my theater credits, and so they basically said if you take I think I had to take 6 more theater credits, which was 2 courses, and they would give me the theater major. So I was like, oh, whatever. So I took 2 classes in theater, and that's what the triple major was. This is the first time anybody's asked me about this, and now I'm on the record revealing my dirty secret about my triple major at the university.
That's what we do at the Wiener Sheikh Show. We ask the hard, cutting questions that no one else thinks of.
You really shake us down. That's why.
Oh, yeah, man. You didn't know what you were getting into when Greg
You
Wiener
had no
rolled
idea.
up in your DM asking to be on my show.
You had no idea.
What, dude, why did you stop acting? What happened?
I grew up. I mean, for me, acting.
He says to a 45-year-old actor.
At some point, you have to stop with make pretend time, Wiener.
Oh, shit.
So
Tell me about it.
So no, honestly, I think when you start doing like an activity that young, it to me was not a profession. It was like an after school activity. Like I didn't look at it, you have a different perspective. So I was, not that I didn't take it seriously, because I was very successful, at least financially, in it for a while. But for me, it was more of a hobby. Like that.
Are you still living off that child actor money?
Oh, hell no. That money's been spent and spent again. But
Is there money in there's got to be. I think this is a stupid question, but it's an innocent question.
You probably got scratched from Dear John.
Can you make good money from making documentaries? I'm assuming yes, right?
you can make a living doing it.
Right.
And
Right.
we built a company. Now, remember, we used to make one documentary at a time. You mentioned Raw Deal. That came out in like 2001. Cocaine Cowboys came out in 2006. There was a lot of downtime. The U came out in 2009. So now we're working on 5 or 6 projects at a time. And that's the
Holy
advantage
shit.
of building a reputation and building a company. So now we make a living doing it, which is pretty wonderful.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to make Cocaine Cowboys?
It took us a while. It took us about 2 years. Because
Yeah, docs take a long time, don't they?
docs can take a long time. In a perfect world, you have 1 year at least on a
okay.
document, a feature doc. Yeah.
What's your favorite all-time doc?
Oh wow.
Are you documentary? You got to be a fan of obviously it's your life.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of nonfiction films. I am a big fan of Nick Broomfield. I love the Heidi Fleiss documentary, Hollywood Madam, and I love his 2 documentaries about Eileen Wuornos on death row here in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Really wonderful.
Yes.
I love the earliest of Michael Moore. I love Roger and Me. I think Roger and Me is fantastic. I'm a degenerate fan of Roger and Me. There's also, you have to understand that there's also docs that I love, like Kid Stays in the Picture, for example, which was a game changer as far as the form itself, because that was the first doc that on a major scale first of all, it was about Robert Evans, the famous producer and studio executive.
Kid, what is it? What is his name? Kid Glorious or Kid Hollywood?
Kid Notorious, yeah.
Kid Notorious.
And so they made this amazing documentary, Kid Stays in the Picture, inspired by his, or actually not inspired, but based on his autobiography, that he narrates himself. And he was such a well-photographed, historical figure, being in the movie business, that they had so many photographs of him that they animated them and brought them to life and layered them in a very inventive way that really changed, raised the bar and changed the way docs are told.
That's hot.
And it also was a little bit lighter. Let's say it wasn't so serious. It wasn't about slavery or the civil rights movement or the Holocaust, which a lot of the award-winning documentaries were heavy shit. And we were.
Who's got time for that?
Well, we call our genre pop docs. A friend dubbed it that, and because while some of them may be socially conscious or calls to action, they're informed a little bit more by the pulpier and poppier, pop culture side.
You're the MTV of docs, and everybody else is the VH1 of docs.
Well, your docs are funny as shit, and they fly. Your docs move so fast, and I'm laughing constantly.
Me too.
You've never seen one of his films, Imran.
Never.
Come on.
Never. Not one
So
of them.
full of shit.
But Imran does know the theme song to Dear John.
Dear John.
Screwball was great. Where did you get the idea to use kids to be the actors to play out the action that I guess not the narrators, but the subjects were talking about?
Whiskey.
Wait. I have a hard hitting question here. Have you seen Stevie, Billy?
No.
That's a good doc. You should watch it.
Thank you.
Where did the idea come up for using kid actors? And some of them were brilliant, by the way.
Thank you. I thought the kids were great.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Too.
Absolutely. He was on his way. Well, first and foremost, we knew we needed to do some reenactments. That was clear just based on the radio cut. The radio cut's when you string together your talking heads, your interviews, and you craft the story out of there. A lot of the writing or most of the writing in documentary filmmaking happens in the editing room when you see what you've got and you start to tell the story and see what you're missing and what you need. And it's clear, we make sports documentaries like The U, for example, for 30 for 30 for ESPN. You talk to football players. They tell you about football games. You go get the football game footage and you put it on top of the football players talking about it. So it's a straightforward, kind of, virtually paint by numbers process. But
right,
this wasn't about baseball. It wasn't about like a bunch of guys telling us about. What is that? Is someone's cell phone ringing? What is that?
No, that's Imran playing Dear John theme because he's a child. Thank you, Imran. This will be your last podcast.
I feel like it's karaoke night at Judd Hirsch's house. This is great.
Yeah. All right, Imran. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Did you go to karaoke night at Judd Hirsch's house?
Wouldn't that be awesome? I didn't, but that would be awesome.
Well, you should say you did.
He had his cantor performing there because he's Jewish. I don't know if you know this.
He's a big old honkin' Jew. He wears his Jewishness with pride, if you know what I'm saying.
What?
He has a big nose.
That's a shofar, Imran. Greg.
You have a shofar for a nose? Is that what you said? We got broken up by the internet.
No, I said Judd Hirsch wears his Jewishness with pride on his face. He has a big nose.
Are you suggesting that the internet was breaking up right at that moment? Was it the Zionist conspiracy? What was it?
It's exactly what I was saying.
That's exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
All right. So
you
of course,
Greg, you think Judd Hirsch is low on the totem pole? He's like number 6 in line. So he kept a shofar in that giant collar sweater of his. Anyway, carry on.
Do you think it's easy for us to not only produce documentaries and entertain the world, but also to control the world economy and foreign policy? It's not easy, Ron. It takes a lot of work.
And then at the same time, make a decent internet connection for an hour for a lowly podcast. We can't be juggling constantly.
Whose internet connection sucks as bad?
Well, I think it's probably mine.
Are you on like a 56K modem? Are you on AOL?
I'm on a decent network, but I got Google Chat going and Imran Zip It and Skype. So I think that is the issue.
Okay.
So I think it's time to quit out of some of these apps, Greg.
I got Pornhub going as well. I'm just in case I want to grab a quick jack. I figure, I don't know. Imran's going to sidetrack us again, so I figure I'll have time to whip out a batch. What the hell? We were in the middle of talking about something.
The recreations in Screwball and how we arrived at the concept of the kids. Yes. And, we knew we needed to do something because we had a bunch of guys talking and they mentioned 1 or 2 or 3 baseball games. And so there's not a lot of footage. And most of the guys that we're talking to are not famous people. So they're, A-Rod, there's a lot of pictures you can use, but it's not really about A-Rod. So we knew we needed to recreate all this shady shit that happened in the steroid clinic and in locker rooms and hotel rooms and nightclubs. And so we knew we were going to have to hire actors. I realized listening to the characters speak that a lot of them had the 2 main characters, especially Tony Bosch, the fake doctor who was administering steroids to all these big baseball players like A-Rod, Manny Ramirez, Ryan Braun, Melky Cabrera. I knew that he and the whistleblower, his mortal enemy who stole the records from the clinic and turned them over to the Miami New Times, which blew the whole story, Porter Fisher, the 2 of them had told stories the same way.
Shout out to the Miami New Times.
Absolutely. And the 2 of them told stories the same way, which was very vividly. They told them through dialogue. I said, go fuck yourself. And he said, no, you go fuck yourself. And I said, no, you go fuck yourself. And he said, and they would just tell stories this way. And I'm like, we could totally drunk history this, meaning the actors could lip sync the dialogue
hilarious.
right from the horse's mouth.
Nice.
And but all the actors would be 8 years old, basically, 9 and 10, and they'd have facial hair. We do it all on location. They'd have lab coats, police uniforms. They'd be lawyers. They'd be doctors. They'd be
dancing at Live nightclub.
Yeah, we'd have Baby Pitbull, Dale.
That's hilarious.
And we shot everything on location. Several of them at the actual locations the real events took place, like Live nightclub at the Fontainebleau in Miami Beach, like the Sports Grill in South Miami, like the Ritz-Carlton in Key Biscayne. And we just put the young actors, 9, 10 years old, at the bar, at the tiki bar with little kid bartenders and little kid extras wandering in the background. And then, our doctor drowning his sorrows with giant pina colada and pineapple.
These kids playing these adults that have reached the bottom of their lives. They've like hit this crushing low at low point, and you've got an adorable 8-year-old playing the scene. It's brilliant.
So you're gonna love this. So we had Tony Bosch, the main kid, played by a really talented young actor, Brian Blanco, who was also in Confessions of a Cocaine Cowboy, our play, and was brilliant in that as well. He had 3 wigs, and the wigs all represented a different stage of Tony Bosch's downward spiral. His trip to rock bottom over the course of this movie. So, you shoot a movie out of order, and so the hair and makeup team would always want to double check that they're at the right stage, that we have the right wig on,
right.
And like to see, so it's like, it's his hairs all together. Then it's his hair's a little gray and tousled. And then there's this last stage where it's just like, it's the same state as his like DUI mugshot. Like it's just his hair's graying and sticking up everywhere. So, Brian is on set. He's like 10 years old, and he says something. He says like, "Listen, is this the right wig?" I told him I think we need the Bender wig, and I'm like, the what? It's a 10-year-old kid. I'm like, he's like the Bender wig. We call it the Bender wig. Like when Tony's on a bender, this is what his hair. And I'm like, what the hell do you know about a bender?
Jesus, at 10 years old, my God.
Now, was that kind of an attempt to break out the jarring? Because I mean, if we see, just people reenacting this, it could go cheesy, right? It could be like a kind of reenactment show or something like that, which is not the caliber that you want to present. But also, is it kind of like a way to highlight the innocence that we had presumed of these players, of these athletes? And now when you see a kid committing these debaucherous acts, right? I mean, it's even more jarring, and it's even more... Because if you see an adult sinking his sorrow into a drink, I mean, that's, impactful. But if it's a kid doing it, that's even more impactful.
It's twofold. From the creative standpoint, reenactments have become, such a tired trope of nonfiction filmmaking, and documentaries have become ubiquitous. I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah. Right. So are podcasts.
Greg, we're having a serious discussion. Can you let Billy and I have a... Billy, I apologize for Greg's interjections. Continue, please.
So, anyway, we wanted to elevate, if not raise the bar, at least do something a little different and unique as far as the reenactments were concerned. And creatively, I think Imran, something you probably don't hear on the show very often, I think Imran is right. We were looking to make the point that all of the adults in this story essentially acted like children. And ultimately, the children were the real victims in all of this. Not only were there the high school patients that Tony Bosch was treating, for which he rightfully went to prison for treating, but also we make the point at the end that the kids who idolize these baseball players are perhaps a bit misplaced in their in their reverence, and when they're all just lying, cheating, and stealing. That maybe these are not the best role models and setting the best example for the young children who revere these players. So we're trying to make a greater point with the use of kids in the recreations.
Love it.
It's all right.
Hey, I have a question. What, Imran?
What? You have permission. You have permission from Imran.
Gotcha. And I'm glad you stopped playing the Dear John theme again, Imran.
Billy was on a roll.
No, I know.
A Kaiser roll.
Billy has sandwiches named after him in Miami. That's how much of a big deal he is. Imran.
Wow. The Corben Blue?
That would be a good one.
No, they're mostly Hispanic. Aren't they like Cuban sandwiches or some shit?
No, what
I did my research on your sandwiches, obviously.
It's brisket, for Christ's sake. Is it
not? Oh, fuck me. I should lose my Jew card.
Is it not in the Wikipedia? What the fuck?
No, I've done all kinds of research, but I didn't find your sandwich names. Where can we get a Billy Corben?
Where can our listeners get a Billy Corben sandwich? Original.
They can eat me at Blue Collar on Biscayne Boulevard and 67th Street in Miami. It is absolutely, it's one of the best sandwiches in town, guaranteed.
Done.
Not a sponsor.
The Wiener Sheikh Show welcomes Global Systems Worldwide as our show sponsor, the world's leading global unified service for all of your corporate network needs. Global Systems Worldwide understands your goals and lack of time to achieve them in this hyper-fast global economy. GSW focuses on your corporate needs to get the job done with the swipe of a finger. The world is moving at such lightning-fast speeds, and our global corporate services understands and tailors our customer service networking initiatives to get you and your bottom line accomplished so you can devote your time and resources to what your individual corporate structure really needs. Go to globalsystemsworldwide.net for more information and use the sponsor code DICKCHEESE for 50% off your first initiative building consulting session.
And now we return to the Wiener Sheikh Show. Emma can't get an orgasm from a blowjob. And Greg storms out of Chipotle restaurants like a big Jewish baby.
I love my mommy. Bonsoir.
The Wiener Sheikh Show on the Greg Wiener Podcasting Network.
You motherfuckers.
You've made documentaries about shady characters. You've shined a very bright light on kingpins. Have you ever...
Been a shady character, Billy Corben?
No, let me finish. And especially in Screwball, there was some mob-connected guys. Have you ever gotten, blowback or felt unsafe or, you know what I'm saying, from shining such a bright light on these types of people?
There have been moments, fleeting moments where I've been concerned, but for the most part, no. I mean, in the case of Cocaine Cowboys, for example, we were telling an older story. It was a historic documentary.
Right.
The events that had occurred 20, 30 plus years earlier. So there wasn't as much of a threat. On certain things, like when we were in Gainesville a year after the incident took place in Raw Deal, A Question of Consent, that was a little dicier. You're kind of in this small town, and you're asking a lot of questions about a very sensitive issue that affected the state attorney's office, this fraternity, the National Organization for Women. There was a lot of forces that were not exactly thrilled that we were there. That was.
I didn't even think about that one, actually. And you're Jewish on top of that in Gainesville, which is basically a backwater hit.
Yeah,
town.
but I eat at the Waffle House a lot, so I'm cool. So
Smart.
That was a little dicier. I had a particularly, I feel like for the most part, no. I mean, there's like I said, some fleeting sort of anecdotes or incidents on Cocaine Cowboys 2. We were in suburbs of Oakland, California, and there was at least one occasion in which we got kind of chased away from a location by a guy with a gun. I don't think we fired it at all, but that was a quick company move, Greg. I'll tell you that.
I bet.
Just realize,
get the fuck out of here. It's not worth it.
Dove into the car and took off.
Dang. But the subjects of these documentaries, did you ever have anybody from the cartel say stop this bullshit, or you were never contacted from the people you made the story about, right? I mean, most of them are dead, but family connected to those that were in Cocaine Cowboys.
No, I mean, I'll have you know, I mean, people seem to get more concerned about what government officials, will do than criminals.
Right.
So when you're exposing corruption, I think that's an arguably more dangerous proposition than going after, criminals.
Right.
Criminals who aren't in the public sector. I'll put it to you that way.
Right.
Who I would agree are in many ways far less dangerous than criminals in the public sector, because there is no accountability for criminals in the public sector somehow.
Right, and criminals in the public sector have cops behind them, police departments to enforce if they want. He's talking about corrupt Miami is what he's talking about.
So Raw Deal was your first doc? Is that it, right?
I don't know. What does the Wikipedia say?
Yes, it was his first doc.
What made you go from from theater? So you completed college, or when did you? I guess my question is, why documentaries? Why did you go the nonfiction route?
We had not graduated college yet. I hadn't, at least, and Al hadn't. We took leaves of absence to pursue our first documentary. David Sipkin,
wow.
our third partner, he had graduated from FSU, one of the best film schools in the country. And it gives me no pride to say that. Pride or pleasure to say that.
Is it really one of the best film schools in the country?
It is absolutely one of the best film schools in the country. Absolutely.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Really?
And go Knowles, I guess. Tallahassee also has
Not a sponsor.
6 Waffle Houses. So that's another advantage they have on Miami.
Right. Are you a huge Waffle House fan?
I'm a huge Waffle House, and there is, in fact, a Corben sandwich at the Waffle House. It is
Unbelievable.
It is a secret menu item, but officially acknowledged by the CEO and, more importantly, the Twitter account. The Corben sandwich is a
Billy,
bacon.
can you tell us what is in the Corben sandwich available on the secret menu of the Waffle House?
It is bacon, egg, and cheese on a waffle.
Oof.
Wow.
No. Imran's diapers just filled up automatically upon hearing that.
Yeah. Just thinking about it. It's all water down here.
Jesus. Disgusting.
The fuck are we talking about?
We were talking about
Why docs? Why docs?
Accidentally, I guess, is a good way to say it. We were in the process of shooting a film, actually, physically on film on Super 16, which is incredibly expensive and onerous. And DV was just really blowing up. And my producing partner, Alfred Spellman, said, we should try something on DV. Like he always liked to follow the technology and follow the formats and be an early adopter.
DV?
What is
digital?
What is it?
Oh, digital video.
Digital.
He didn't know what DV meant.
Yes. It means disease venereal.
Oh, okay.
And
still hot today.
It's very popular in Miami, especially.
Oh yeah.
And so digital video was just, I mean, especially in the wake of another Florida film or Florida movie, the Blair Witch Project. Suddenly.
Oh, that was in Florida.
That was in Florida?
Well, they were Florida filmmakers. The filmmakers were from the Orlando area.
Wow.
Oh, yes. I didn't know that. Okay.
And they obviously made a big splash. And so basically after that, every schmuck with a video camera thought they could make a movie. And so that's what, you had like the submissions to Sundance like doubled or tripled in a matter of years, and Alfred said, let's try a GV project. And I, looking at Blair Witch, looking at some of the other projects where that worked, it always seemed that the idea that this was being shot on video was built into the concept of the story. For example, Blair Witch was all about found footage, right? It was home video footage. You had projects like Mike Figgis's Time Code, which was it's a quad screen with 4 images, all like live in real time playing at the same time. So that's not something you could do with film. That was only something you could do with video. They did a movie called Series 7 that was a satire, a really dark satire of the explosion in reality show competitions, where it was kind of like a straight-faced Running Man, where they did it like a reality show where they had 7 contestants who all had to murder each other, and the last person standing was the winner. But of course, again, it was a reality show, and so you expected it to look like television, like you expected it to look like. So I said, what it strikes me is that like you need to either, if you're going to do a scripted project in DV, you need something where the format itself is built into the mix, or we could do documentary. I said, because that would be because documentaries, had long been on television. People were used to seeing nonfiction in the news on video, shot on video. And so you also didn't have the limitations of 400.
Like Cops.
Like Cops, for
greatest TV show ever.
Yes, I wouldn't get carried away with that, but yes, like Cops. And you don't have to deal with like short film reels and stuff. You could roll forever, not forever, but for a very long time on video. So we decided to make a doc, and then we started to hear at the same exact time. Alfred basically says, let's try DV. I say, well, let's try a doc, which is something we were fans of but had never studied before, doc filmmaking. And then the third front in this kind of perfect storm was hearing from friends who we knew growing up in North Miami Beach, who were attending the University of Florida, who were calling and telling us about this case of an exotic dancer who was performing at a fraternity house at a Big Brother, Little Brother pledge event, and who had alleged that she had been sexually assaulted by one of the fraternity men in a private room after the event. And the video had been made available to the public with our very open government sunshine laws, as we call them in Florida. And so government in the sunshine.
Wow.
And so we obtained the video and realized that there was a really compelling story to be told here, because reasonable, educated people with similar backgrounds and baggage were watching this video footage and disagreeing about whether or not they were witnessing a consensual sex act or a sexual assault.
What was the point?
The point is that the media and others in the community had been requesting the video footage that had been seized by the University Police Department and was in the possession of the state attorney's office in Alachua County. And we have very, like I said, open public record laws in the state of Florida, and they could not make a defense as to why it shouldn't be released, although the alleged victims or the accuser's attorney took the position that she should be protected by rape shield laws. And
right.
he made that case, and she made that case to the judge, who disagreed and said that her rights did not usurp the what we call Florida Chapter 119, and that the videotape footage would be released to the public. And it became quite a cause célèbre in Gainesville, which is a small town, and there was such a backlog at the time, we were told, of requests for the video that, like, if you were the first person on your block to get it, you would have like a kegger and invite people to your place.
Jesus Christ.
To watch the video. It was quite appalling. And again, this all plays into the story of the documentary as well, because the release of the video was a significant, turning point, an event in the story.
These guys did they get convicted or?
Well, the frat got kicked out, right?
They were never charged. I mean, the frat
never charged.
The frat got suspended. Some of the fraternity men were charged with assignation, which was an ancient statute that hadn't been enforced in Florida in something like since the turn of the last century. And so it was a weird prostitution related charge. And then they did handcuff and charge the exotic dancer with filing a false police report.
Yes.
With her rape allegation, which was extraordinarily and rightfully controversial in the community.
Billy, do you think she was raped, or do you think it was consensual?
I believe that there was some sexual activity that occurs that night and that we see on the videotape that she was not necessarily clearly consenting to, which by its definition would mean some kind of assault. At the same time, I will say that as a result of exhaustion, alcohol, and possible drug use, there is a total breakdown in communication between the parties involved. And I could see where, the state attorney took the position, or understand why the state attorney would take the position that because of the video footage, it would be very difficult to find a jury who would unanimously vote to convict. It's a story with no winners and at all, and everybody loses.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
So when you do a documentary like this, when you tell a story, because documentaries, at least the ones that I've seen, they usually have
both of them.
So I haven't seen Raw Deal, right? But when you tell a story, documentaries usually have a story, a narrative, right? That they're presenting. It's real, it's truthful, but there's still kind of a story. When you did Raw Deal, did you feel like you had to take a position, or was it like, these are the facts, or this is what happened, this is what we're showing you, you make up your own mind? Or do you think it's incumbent upon the documentary filmmaker to have a narrative, or to have an agenda in the literal sense, not in the negative connotation sense of the word?
Here's something else that's never been said on the podcast before. Great question, Imran. So
you fit in perfectly, Billy. Thank you.
It's a really great question. And I'm glad you asked it, and surprised Greg didn't think of it.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. All right. Imran, the bandwidth can't handle any more signal. Please turn off the fucking Dear John theme. Okay, we're working on dial-up, circa 2000.
Greg is operating on AOL 1.0.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now.
So do you feel that as a documentary filmmaker you should have a stance and agenda?
Documentaries, the definition of documentaries is the creative interpretation of reality. So whenever you're a filmmaker telling a story,
is that your definition, or is that kind of
it's a popular?
Whose definition?
It's a popular. I didn't make it up. It's a popular definition of documentary filmmaking, because no matter how hands off you try to be, you're still making subjective decisions. You know, I mean, what appears in the four corners of a frame when you're editing something, what does appear, what doesn't appear. These are subjective decisions that are creative decisions. They may be journalistic decisions. They may have a certain ethic behind them, but they're still creative decisions. They're subjective, and I will say that on Raw Deal, our approach was to be as objective as possible. And I think the critics acknowledged that, and the fact is that as you watch the documentary, most audience members change their mind several times.
Absolutely. That was my experience.
Yeah. And
mine too.
And you didn't see it. Exactly. And in fact, what was concerned at one point that the advocacy may be too strong, that you may be able to kind of get a sense of our thumb being on the scale. And then I was concerned about that because I didn't want it to be that kind of doc. Listen, advocacy journalism, advocacy documentary filmmaking has always been, even before these days where everything appears to be advocacy journalism and commentary. There's always been a place for that in the conversation. And you could call it propaganda, but if you're going to do investigative journalism, you can reach conclusions and you can make subjective judgments about the way people behaved as a result of your own objective investigation, as long as you don't have a kind of predetermined outcome or idea going into it. So it's legitimate, but we just didn't want to do Raw Deal that way. We wanted it to be honestly, I had in my senior play at New World School of the Arts High School, we had done Rashomon.
Humble brag.
And that was very not exactly. I don't think there's anything braggadocious about that.
Hashtag humble brag.
But that was really the influence.
Listen, Billy, we get it. We get it. You wrote a couple of plays. Can we stick with the docs, please? Let's not inflate ourselves.
I didn't write Rashomon, but I will. I'll try to stick to the.
Billy, I think I saw that, and I named a college bong after one of the characters in that. Obatala? Is that a character from Rashomon?
I don't remember.
I really hope it's not.
I think it is.
I don't remember.
All right, go ahead.
I hope it's an innate racism from Greg. Anyway, Billy, before we were interrupted with our adult talk.
Greg, is that South Asian?
No, it's just black. It's African. Is that Asian? Is Africa now the southern Asian?
Africa is considered the North Antarctic.
Jesus, I can't keep up with the nomenclature.
I think that name is Wakandan, actually.
Oh yeah, Wakanda forever.
So I'll say that with Raw Deal, we were trying to not. I was making the point that I was afraid as we were going through the process that people might watch it and think I was advocating for one side. And then we went to Sundance and screened it, and I went, oh shit, it actually played to me like we're advocating for the other side, the opposite side of what I feared that it appeared that we were advocating for. So I realized, oh shit, I guess maybe we got it right.
Yeah. Why aren't you doing like a re-release of this film? Because I think it's super fucking important right now, especially in the Me Too generation. What's going on with that? I want that to happen.
Because Raw Deal, so our listeners know, was in 2001, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And
is it a movie you want back out in the world, or do you want it to be where it was and for its time? Because it was your first film.
It was, and I certainly creatively have my issues with it. And there's obviously not a lot of things I would do the same again. But I think I see the job of a documentary filmmaker is to find a good story and don't fuck it up. And I think in Raw Deal we found a good story and we didn't fuck it up. So I think it's good enough. And I think it's a perennial. Unfortunately, it's a scandal. Or it is an issue that comes up in a high-profile scandal year after year after year. Sometimes month after month after month, in fact, or week after week, unfortunately. And in fact, the accuser's grandmother said that she believed the documentary should be shown to incoming freshmen at every college in the country.
Oof.
So I agree with you. I feel very strongly that it's a solid piece of work. I think it elicits a really compelling debate and conversation.
Yeah.
I would hope that more people would see it, and I appreciate at least one of you watching it.
Well, shit, I paid $5 to watch it because I do my job, Billy. I was ready for you.
I've seen Dear John. I've watched Dear John. I did my job.
Well, it is available. To your point, it is available. I mean, people can go to our, to cocainecowboys.com, to our webpage, and they can find it and download it. And it's on DVD at Amazon with a ton of bonus features, and it's including 30 minutes of additional scenes, some interviews that got deleted from the movie,
Very cool.
and is available streaming
And
as
what
you
it-
found it.
And what is the name of your production company so our listeners know?
It's called Raconteur, Rakontur. The phonetic spelling of the French word raconteur,
Storyteller.
which means one who tells stories with
Yeah.
skill.
Oh, yeah. Imran loves to let people know he knows French.
That's a humble brag. That's not even humble.
I
actually,
dabble. I dabble.
Yeah.
Je le dabble.
Please don't. Don't speak French. Billy, what's like the film that the project that you're going to working on?
Well, before you answer Greg's boring question,
you're a little South Asian son of a bitch.
if there's a Dear John reboot tomorrow, is Billy Corben on board or not?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
If there's a Dear John reboot tomorrow, is Billy Corben on board or not? Hollywood.
I'm all in. If there's a backdoor pilot.
Yeah, he's balls deep in that.
You have your answer, Hollywood. Well, it could be son of Dear John, couldn't it? It could be now Matthew gets Dear John'd and has to go to a support group in Rego Park.
It reminds me a little bit of those Twitter memes that are kind of like everyone blank Billy Corben. I'm in for the Dear John reunion, nobody. Hollywood has their answer to the question that nobody's
asking.
Yeah.
Right.
There's some value in a Dear John reboot. We're all losers in love because of the apps and stuff like that. We're all getting ghosted. I mean,
well, not all of us, Imran.
Dear John is a form of ghosting, and I think it would be very relevant. Billy Corben, are you going to go on record and say that you're going to reboot Dear John?
No.
You're not a cutting-edge journalist, Imran. Stop.
Greg, this is our first big-time interview. I'm conducting the interview and doing some hard-hitting research and journalism here for our listeners. So.
You made me completely forget my thought, which was better than your bullshit. God damn it. No, what's the one project that you've got coming up? God damn it, Imran.
What do you got coming up next, Billy?
Your people love hijacking, don't they, Imran?
Hey-oh.
Hey-oh. What's the next project that you got coming up? I know you're doing a sequel to Dogfight, right? Or am I wrong about that?
Yeah, we've been working on that for 3 years, actually.
Wow.
What's like the one project you've got coming up that's getting your blood up and your
getting your hackles, your dick hard, as it were?
Thank you. I was trying to not use that reference, but good job, Imran.
Well, A&E just announced that they're relaunching their biography brand.
I love those.
But
Those are
instead
great.
of like those 1 hour format shows, where everything's kind of plug and play and it's all the same, they're doing it they've re-envisioned it as like a 30 for 30 style ongoing series of feature documentaries, all directed by different filmmakers.
Great.
And so you'll have different takes on the different subjects. And so we were called and invited to do a feature documentary about Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh my goodness!
And
Very
we
nice.
have just started production on that, and I'm really excited. We have a very good track to do on that.
You broke up. You have a very...
Greg, can you tell your mom to get off the phone so that you can get dial-up access?
It's fun. It's fun, Imran.
His mom needs to use the fax machine.
The funny thing is, I tested this goddamn internet signal.
How'd it go?
It went great until we actually made a connection today at this hour.
A lot like millennial love. Things are going great until you make a connection, then it goes to shit, and she dumps you because she doesn't think there's chemistry there. Women are bitches and hookers. Billy, let
Billy,
me
I
ask
know-
you a question, Billy. If
No.
a girl takes you out to dinner, or you take a girl out to dinner, and you know, you drop like 50, 60, maybe $80 on dinner, and she then texts you back that, hey, you know what, and you pay for it all, and she texts you back that night and says, hey, you know what, I don't think there's chemistry there. Is she a hooker at that point?
Halal food. Did you feed her halal food?
I'm so glad you got that in. Imran, oh God, we'd be better talking on walkie-talkies at this fucking point.
No, really, people don't know that you guys do your podcast via tin cans attached with strings.
Yeah, exactly.
Billy,
exactly.
are you prepared right here and right now to make the Wiener Shake Show your next documentary project? Like a day in the life of, you know?
I tell you, well, the first thing I'm going to do is upgrade your show by buying you all rotary phones.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. No, I have a question. Billy, why do you think Cubans are so entitled down here in Miami?
Billy has not answered any of my questions. Can you answer my questions first, please, Billy? Thank you.
What is happening? It's off the rails. Off the rails.
Yeah, I know.
Doing rails and off the rails all at the same time.
I'm drug-free, thank you. Say no to drugs. Dare.
I don't even remember what Imran's fucking question was.
Dare
Billy,
to say no.
We've got to wrap this up. I told Daisy, your assistant's fantastic, by the way. Very nice.
Is Daisy single or?
No, she's not. Sorry about that.
Okay.
And if she were, you would have been pre-ghost.
Are we done? Can we wrap up or are we?
Imran, sure. Yeah. Well, you know, I asked 4 out of the 30 questions I had. So, yeah, let's wrap it up. Billy, two more questions, and then we'll let you go.
Actually, I would like you to continue about
This is
the A&E
Imran's
project
bit
that you
now.
have coming up. That actually sounds really, really cool.
He did. He's doing one on Macho Man Randy Savage.
Imran, when we wrap it up here, you can add that to my Wikipedia, if you would, please.
Yeah.
I've already added several things to your IMDb page and your Wikipedia.
Yeah, you should add that to IMDb. Billy, why do you think Cubans are so entitled, not only on the road, but in their lives here in Miami? Do you have a take on that? Why?
I think everyone in Miami is so entitled. I don't think it is.
I'm not. I'm Jewish and I'm not.
I don't think it's indigenous. Well, I don't think it's indigenous to any people. I mean, we have a very kind of entitled, self-centered kind of a population here. It's reflected very much in the way that we drive. Without turn signals and without any care for physics that would require that two objects cannot occupy the same space at the same time. For example, I always wondered what those coexist bumper stickers meant. Now I know they want to coexist in the same fucking lane in the same spot that I'm in. Is apparently what they mean. And if you have a baby on board, then why are you driving like such an asshole? Is what I'd like to know. But honestly, I do. I think that, you know, that's why they call it Miami. It's my fucking Amy. It's not our Amy or your Amy. It's my fucking Amy. And everybody drives that way. And a lot of people behave that way. And I'm hoping to see still, you know, now that we're really, for the most part, you know, there's not a lot of people who could claim to be second generation Miamians or even first generation Miamians. You know, all of our parents' generation and beyond came from someplace else, you know? And so no matter how long they're here in Miami, they always say like, oh, I'm from Philly, I'm from Chicago, I'm from here or there or wherever. And so I'm hoping to, now that we have this sort of 305 till I die generation of people who were actually born here and you would have roots here and you'd feel as though they have a stake in making Miami a better place. I'm just hoping that we'll see I'm hoping that we'll see people who will care a little bit more about each other and realize that Miami is a shared experience, that if we work together, we can make a little bit better than it is now. Perhaps not better than the Miami we were born into, but at least a little bit better. And I just mostly want to thank Miami-Dade College, not for anything other than those I am MDC stickers that are on the backs of cars so that they help us know who the shittiest drivers in Miami are. I really appreciate that. Thank you, MDC.
Amen. Thank you, MDC. Yeah. And at the very least, if we can't evolve as an area code, please teach your children to hit the fucking turn signals. You can still be a rude son of a bitch on the road, but just put your goddamn turn signals on.
We have evolved as an area code. We're now 2 area codes. We have the 786 generation, none of whom are
fittingly.
where.
Holy shit, are you guys still talking about Miami? Jesus.
No, we were, but the internet connection went again. Billy, listen.
Yeah, no, Imran, we should go back to rewriting your Tinder profile is what we should do.
Billy, if you check out your Wikipedia page, I think it's a more accurate reflection.
Oh, Jesus.
Of you.
All right, Billy. Listen, thanks for your time. We'll promote Screwball. Is it still in select theaters right now, or is it only on demand?
It is available on demand, so iTunes, Amazon, anywhere you
Voodoo, Microsoft, Redbox, Google Play,
YouTube,
pay-per-view. Yeah, you should probably Pirate Bay.
Sure.
No, you can rent movies on YouTube.
No, I don't think it's on YouTube.
Okay.
Twitter, Billy's Twitter is @BillyCorben. Billy, thanks so much, man.
Thank you, Billy.
And how apropos that we can't even get a goodbye off the internet signal.
Thank you, guys. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
Billy, before you go, just one more thing, please.
That's great. That song depresses me. All right.
Billy, we'll hold you in our hearts forever for being
hung up on
for obliterating our guest virginity, legit guest virginity, and we will cherish this moment forever.
Great, Imran.
I have a message from Judd Hirsch, Imran.
Yes.
He says, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Walaikum assalam.
Yeah.
Mr. Hirsch.
Thanks, Billy.
Later,
Billy,
guys. Thank you.
I'll see you, man.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Billy.
bud. Appreciate it.
All right, you son of a bitch. We did it. If you don't fix your goddamn connection, I'm gonna fucking come down to Miami and shove my foot straight up your Jew nose.
First of all, I'm not even in what you would call my apartment. I'm homeless once again. So this is actor housing. That was very frustrating.
No, they're supposed to give you. They're supposed to give you good Wi-Fi. That's a requisite.
It's not equity sanctioned housing, please.
Oh.
Nothing about this project is equity sanctioned except the crappy contract. Anyway, Billy Corben, that was great. He was good. He was funny. You were decent. You were better than I expected. You were yourself. Billy was entertaining. And
no, I thought he was great, and I think he brought a lot of
class
things to it. And yeah, and I think overall it was a lot of
really impressed that you were able to not do that. But I think you really cared about what Billy thought of you, so you didn't act like a fucking child.
who gives a shit? I don't care. You think I give a fuck, Greg?
Oh, no, you definitely cared what Billy Corben thought of you.
I don't care what Billy Corben thinks of me.
It's interesting how you behave when you respect somebody. It's a fascinating character study.
Check out his Wikipedia page.
Are you serious? Did you fuck with his Wikipedia page?
Yeah.
How are you really able to do that quickly?
Don't worry about what I can and cannot do.
Can you make me a
man.
Wikipedia page? My man.
Don't worry about what I can and cannot do, my man.
Imran, you're exhausting, by the way. Thank God he thought you were funny. What did you do?
Let's just let our listeners go to Billy Corben's Wikipedia page, learn a little bit about the man, the myth, the legend, a great documentary filmmaker, and maybe see
You've never seen one of his movies.
What's next? See what's next.
What did you put on his IMDb? Hopefully it was us.
I invite our listeners, his fans, to check out his Wikipedia page.
What did you put on there?
Don't worry about what I put on there, man.
You couldn't put something on there that quickly.
Don't worry about what I put on there, my man.
Did you put on the Wiener Sheikh show?
Don't worry about what I did, my man.
I'm not your man, you little shit. What did you do? The only person that would really know that you added something is either you or Billy. What did you put on there? Can you just tell me? Has declared on the Wiener Sheikh show.
Come on, let the
Corben
listeners
would be
find
available
out.
on
Let the
board
listeners find
for-
out. It's a little Easter egg. Let them find out.
And you put a link to the. Can you make a? You know, it's amazing. Can you make us a fucking Wikipedia page?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, why don't you do that? All right. Episode 49. That's in the books, and that it's gonna. If I end up putting a bullet in my head, it'll be because I'm trying to edit a show with 3 people and an internet signal that is for pure and total shit. So I'm gonna go jerk off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go jerk off to kids playing adult athletes. Bye.
That was creepy. Bye.
Don't worry about what's creepy.
This is a production of Greg Wiener Productions and Hollow Spirit Studios. For more information on our producers, go to hollowspiritstudios.com and go to thewienershakeshow.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe.